So we'll just get this started, Meg, with just general thoughts on tonight's win.
Yeah, I thought we talked a lot about coming out in the second half. We were a little dead sometimes in the third quarter, and it's like nice to see that we were able to win the third quarter, and now the fourth quarter we struggled. So it's like just trying to piece things together and playing a complete game is something we need to get better at. Obviously, the rebounding was an issue for us, and I knew going into the game it was going to be, and I knew it was going to be a focus for him. And so we talked a lot about it. We had one day to kind of really work on it. But again, it's hard to work on everything when you have one day to get ready. So I was pleased with the balance of our scoring though. Like a lot of times it's been Jade and somebody else. And it was nice to see 4 people in double digits, spreading it out, moving the ball a little bit more. We had 21 assists, which is what we should be getting per game, 18 to 20-ish assists. And so it was nice to see that. We handled the pressure okay until in the second half when they started to turn us over on the full court pressure, and Fish handled it sometimes well and didn't other times. So we need to get better at that. But, we know that we're still a work in progress, and we have things we need to work on in the next 2 weeks that we can't be satisfied with where we're at, and continue to work to get better. But I can say that I see a lot more synergy with the starting group. That's starting to come together a little bit, and even subbing some of the bench in, I'm starting to see it. So it's taking time, and hopefully there's enough time for us to kind of get where we need to be before the tournament starts.
All right, Spencer, I'll open it up to questions.
Sure. So this was obviously a game with huge implications that I think you're probably pretty happy with the result. But did you kind of expect that there would be any nerves or hesitation going into the game? And did you kind of see that play out in any way?
I didn't see the nerves. Well, I saw it in Kayla. When I put Kayla in late in the second half, it's like, oh God, why are you putting me in? That type of thing. But I will say, I kind of challenged him in the pregame talk. I said, I want you to treat this game like it's an elimination game. This is a tournament game. If we lose, we're out. And you almost want to kind of create that environment a little bit so they're used to it when you get to the tournament. So I tried to put them in that mindset, but I really didn't see any hesitation or nerves from the starting 5 in particular.
And you were talking about Jade before. I think it's safe to say she had a pretty good game, maybe outside of like scoring the ball. Are those looks that you want her to take? Do you want her to be that aggressive even if the shot isn't falling?
Yes, I don't want her to shy away from scoring, that we need it. And you know what? I'm always confident at some point it's going to drop with her. And what was nice about her today, though, is she helped us win in a different way. She helped us win with assists. She helped us win with rebounding. And then the steals at the end, the 2 that she hit the ball out of the kid's hands on 1. She blocked 2 shot in that transition. Like she did some plays that other kids can't do. And for us, that's obviously huge. And she's learning how to help us when she's not scoring. And that's a growth thing for Jade. And, just the frustration of like, she's so athletic, you feel like she's not getting calls in her favor, but that's going to happen. And you have to learn how to deal with it and move on. And she kind of got herself out of being frustrated, I thought, and did a nice job at the end of helping in ways to find different ways to help us win.
And I'm curious if you could talk a little bit just about her body control, in the sense I think that really helps her inside, not only with scoring, but I think also with just distributing the basketball. Could you talk about the strides she's made in that area and how that helps you guys win?
She came in with decent body control, I will say that. So I think lifting in particular, especially, we haven't lifted as consistently as we would like to this year based on the pandemic and stuff, but I think the lifting makes her core stronger. And when you have a strong core, she's the strongest kid we've ever had, as far as, she doesn't fail in the weight room. They keep putting more weight on and she keeps using or doing it. So it's amazing what she's able to do. And then obviously her vertical is just ridiculous. So I think being able to hang in the air and handle your body will help you score baskets. And that's why when she goes to the rim, I'm almost like 90% sure that it's going to go in. And it didn't today. There were a couple layups I thought that she should have made that didn't fall. But it's just outstanding. And then, when you get hit and you have body control, a lot of times you're able to finish. So being strong with your body and then handle all the hacking and stuff that she's getting is huge for us. And then being able to assist off that is nice as well.
And before, you were talking a little bit about just the offensive versatility that you guys have this year. I'm curious how much more dangerous that makes you in a playoff setting, especially if the game slows down at all.
Yeah, I think it's going to help us a ton. I think we when we came here, try to build this program in a different way. It was for this. It was for 4 or 5 people all could score in double digits, and you just got to figure out who you want to take away that game, and hopefully we're still able to score, right? Because I assume heading down the road, people are going to focus on Jade, but that's okay because Taylor can score and Carla can score and Fish can score, right? So it's easier for us to make those. It's easier for us to score just in general, I guess, but to win games, you have to be able to do that. So we love being able to go to different people at different times. And what I keep seeing is like, we're now not afraid to pass to certain people. Thought at the beginning of the year, we were a little hesitant and tentative to throw to certain people. And now we're just not. And that's when you know they're starting to gain that collective synergy that we're looking for. So, and then the free throws, I thought at the end of the game by Fish. I mean, I've been preaching this all year that they will win you and lose you games. And we're 2 for 2 right now. So I hope that continues as we move forward, but that's going to be big for us. And just being 100% from the line, we've worked hard for that. So I was really proud to see the 12 for 12.
I assume that you had a strong game plan for Jennifer Coleman coming into the game. I also assume you didn't expect to hold her to 4 of 18 shooting.
One more time, what's that second part?
I assume you didn't expect to hold her to just such a low scoring line. What were you able to take away today, and how did that kind of factor into the win?
I will say I think our defense has gotten more aggressive. So we could be a little tighter on the ball today and not allow her to make threes. So I think did she only take one? Oh, she took 3. Okay. I remember the one in the first half. I don't really remember the second half ones, but what we basically did was took Carla and put her in the paint. So when they drove, you're now contesting against the person guarding you and a 6'4" kid, right? And so that was kind of our game plan until he went 5 guards. And then we're like, oh, okay. So we have to counter that. And now we had to play, everyone had to guard their man. And that's when they made that run. And we didn't adjust well to that. And I think we have to adjust quicker. That's one of the areas we need to work on, is just adjusting to what other teams do faster and not letting it bother us. You know, Coleman's a great player, obviously. I think very highly of that kid. But I mean, she's also got Gatsunas and she's also got Green alongside of her. And that's 3 really difficult guards to guard in our conference. And I'm hoping that playing them 3 times this year is going to prepare us for future opponents that are not in our pod.
And then just before we wrap up here, I'm curious what you think the top thing the team needs to shore up before the tournament starts.
I think of more than one thing. Can I say more than one thing? Rebounding, defensive rebounding, and offensive rebounding. I mean, just rebounding in general, boxing out. And then I think the other thing is what I said just a minute ago, which was adjusting to people's adjustments quicker, and not because the more you struggle against something, the less likely they're going to change it, right? They're not going to change if you can't score against the zone. So we adjust well when people go from zone to man, but when people go from man to zone, I think is something we need to get better at.
And then actually just one final question. What is the energy in the locker room right now after you guys have clinched it?
It's good. I walked in and they seem pretty happy. They seem pretty pumped about it, knowing that, hey, we at least have one home game in the tournament. Depending on what happens with all these other teams, we keep hearing that Bucknell might be out. We're not really sure because the school shut down. We don't know what's going on with them yet. But they were pretty excited, and they know we're not we can't, I mean, it's great. Like, enjoy it tonight. And that's it. When you come to practice or whatever we're doing, walk through tomorrow, it's behind us. Move on. And now we have Lehigh in front of us.
Thank you.
All right.
Yep. Great. Thank you guys both.
All right. Thanks, Spencer. Talk to you guys.
Bye.